Time out, talk. Time out, talk. Time out, talk.
Hello, everybody, and we are live here on the one and only Minifan Network. This is another episode of Timeout Talks, which is brought to you by Chase and Throws Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, and of course, Make It Mac. And we are proudly streaming on the Minifan Network. Ben, alongside myself, Josh. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about. As always, we're going to get to some of your comments. As you guys can kind of see here on the preview, we're going to get to some NBA and NHL playoffs. We're going to kick it off talking some NBA playoffs. And Ben reminded me of a huge rumor and a huge storyline that's been going on in Boston, which we will talk about some Jaylen Brown stuff. We'll talk about some Giannis stuff. And, of course, we'll get to some NHL stuff as mentioned. And then, to end the show, we will talk about NFL sleeper teams. But before we do that, Ben, how's it going? Oh, here we go. We got Mary is back. Here we go.
Let's go. Early start. Let's go, Mary. No, here we go. And we can get you a sweatshirt over there.
We can do that. We can do that.
Get it up a little, but no, excited, Josh. Yeah, me and you were not bandwagon. I guess we were bandwagon the T-Wolves pretty hard last week. That was our team, and of course, as soon as me and Josh started rooting for them, they lose. They lose 2 games in a row. It's all right, but that was just kind of crazy, Josh. I mean, just that game 3 from Wemby. I know me and you had, Jared and Jimmy and Shane had their own arguments about sort of a guy who you would want to start a franchise with now, and me and you were heavy on Ant Edwards, but I don't know, Josh. That game 3 performance, I might have switched to Wemby. That was just insane. I think he put 38 points, 18 rebounds. He was just doing stuff that I kind of only see on mini hoops, Josh. Back in the day when you just kind of throw it up to yourself. And there's one time he picked up the rebound. And he kind of tossed it with one hand and tossed it to the other, and just easy putback. But that's kind of the stuff you do when you lower the hoop, and you're kind of playing just in the backyard and everything. And he's doing that in the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, I should have watched a little. What an animal Wemby is. What potential he has over there, and I've seen the film and everything. But it's just kind of crazy to see in the playoff time him put up this performance, Josh, and just see some of this stuff. In live time, you don't always get to watch the Spurs and everything with all that stuff, but if you stay up late night, I watch some of those games and everything, but I was just amazed with it, Josh, and I don't know, I might have to switch to start a franchise with Wemby, and Ant's good and all and everything like that, Josh, but I think Wemby's just so crazy, and I think you saw what his impact leads to with this team in that game 4 ejection. He kind of we can get into that too. I don't know. I mean, hey, maybe he's like 7'5". This guy is massive. Sometimes when he swings those bows, it's going to hit somebody. There was a little aggression there. It's getting a little chippy series in there. That's what I like from the T-Wolves, to bring a little chippiness back to this playoffs. But maybe a little questionable ejection, Josh. I don't know. It's a little tough to tell on that one, but I think I'm just really impressed with Wemby, obviously. I know that's an easy one to say, Josh, but I think he's just playing unreal right now. And T-Wolves capitalized last game on this one, but I mean, with the Spurs team, it's looking dangerous, Josh. It's looking dangerous, and I'm sorry to those Lakers fans too. I wanted to slip that in there. Sorry to those Lakers fans. It's over. It's over, Rob and Jeff. Good run, but nice clean sweep over there, but can't get ragdoll. Okay, I don't know. I don't know about the ragdoll, but yeah, see, that was good. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't get suspended too. Maybe I'm just the only one. I didn't really think it warranted the ejection, Josh. I don't know what you think on that one, but I don't know. I mean, he didn't have anything before that. He kind of just through a bow. And like I said, it's getting a little chippy. That's how the T-Wolves like to get. But, it's playoff basketball. I thought we would have maybe let that one go. But then ultimately I'm pretty impressed with these Spurs, Josh. Pretty impressed with them. And just Wemby, he's back. He's making me backtrack some of my takes.
Yeah, Ben. I mean, most people are probably going to watch us and say, dude, I mean, how do they not have Wemby going first?
Yeah.
I've been kind of one of those.
Different.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's got their own, there we go. Mary saying, let them play. Let the boys play. Yeah.
Sorry. Listen, playoff basketball.
And yeah, I mean, it's gritty. I mean, we saw it with the Timberwolves. They were calling out, McDaniels was calling out, the Nuggets for their defense. I like that. They just something about the Timberwolves I like. They're kind of the team I'm latching on to right now. We saw the Thunder win it. Obviously, they swept the Lakers. It would have been cool to see LeBron, but that wasn't going to happen. As Ben, yeah, I mean, just throw it up, put a hand up. They weren't going to have a chance. But, just back to that game and that ejection, I didn't see that coming. I'm surprised, to be honest. I think the NBA is heading in the direction of where he's going to be the darling for them. He's unbelievable. I've been one of his biggest skepticists, I guess. I've always kind of put the brakes on, and they're always hyping him to the moon and the best prospect we've ever seen. But I mean, he's unbelievable. We've seen multiple 30-point performances. Ben, he can do it on both ends of the floor. He's pretty fast too. He'll be he'll make a block on the other side, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, he's already at the 3-point line, ready to take a three. He can do it all. He can shoot, he can block, he can rebound, he can pass. I like the way he plays. He's not a selfish player. I think he is a great player. Injuries is the biggest thing that kind of scares me when it comes to Wemby, but he's been great, Ben. And this team, as you mentioned, is so deep. I mean, the ejection, I personally don't think it should have happened either. I'm very surprised it did. Hey, I'm not an NBA ref. I kind of agree with you there, Ben. I know he hit him in the face, and I don't think it was egregious. I don't think he was really trying to hurt the guy. So that's just on me. But, looking at that Spurs team, as you mentioned, that game 4, Timberwolves barely got it done. I mean, that game 1 that they stole was a fun ride. And then, as you mentioned, they lost 2 games in a row. And then it took Wemby to go out for them to win this game. And, fast forward a little bit here, and, we're just talking about how deep this Spurs team is with Castle, Keldon Johnson. They've got Ron Harper. I mean, Harper Jr. over there Harper, excuse me. He's been great. They've got Devin Vassell. I mean, it's just, they're so loaded on that team that they can make ends meet even without Wemby. And that's the craziest thing, Ben, is he doesn't have to go out there and drop Shea numbers every game because they have such a deep team and such a deep core. I mean, Luke Cornett, the former Celtic, is even making big minutes. So, I know we kind of started things off talking about this playoff bracket. And I mean, tonight's a big night. Tonight's a big night for both teams. The Spurs are going to come out flying, and let's see what that defense can do. Let's see what Jaden McDaniels and company can do. I'm going to guarantee it right now. I'm going to give you a Timeout Talks guarantee. Wemby will go over 30 points. He's mad. I mean, they're at home. I don't see them losing another game at home. I'd like the Timberwolves to win, and this would be a great game to really kind of steal one here and then bring it back to Minnesota up 3-2, but I don't see that happening, Ben. And yeah, just to your original point, I don't think that they should have suspended him or ejected him for that game. Kind of just starting things off again. We'll get to some of that Jaylen Brown and the Celtics stuff a little later, but starting things off, talking the NBA playoffs here. We knew what was going to happen with the Lakers. I thought maybe a game wasn't going to happen. I know a lot of people saying LeBron James and Bronny over there are the first father and son duo, also the first father and son duo to get swept. So I thought that was a funny one online. But yeah, so the Thunder moving on there. They'll play the winner of that Spurs and Timberwolves matchup, which I think could go game 7, and I'm going to say it does. But you flip on the other side here to the Pistons Cavs. That's been an excellent series. I mean, the Cavs have really just turned it on since that James Harden game winner. And then the Knicks. I mean, it's like the Knicks and the Thunder are matching each other. I mean, the Knicks started off in that tough series against the Hawks. If you're a WWE fan, Danhausen cursed them, and then all of a sudden they have not lost a game since he lifted their curse. Think it's kind of funny. interesting incident there. But Thunder and the Knicks, two teams a lot of people see coming out of both sides, are the first two to get those sweeps, Ben. And hey, I'm going to say it here. I think the Spurs are going to get it done. I want the Timberwolves, so I'll let you take that for how it is. And I'm going to actually say that the Cavs get the job done. I think they just have way too much talent, way too much experience. And I think this Pistons team is young. I mean, shout out Cade, shout out Durant, shout out Duncan Robinson's been solid, but they're missing a few other pieces. And I think this is going to go 7. And again, I'm not counting them out. I'm just going to go with what I've seen and what I've seen in the past. I think this Cavaliers team is going to push them to the brink, and they're going to win it in 7 games on the road.
I like that one, Josh. Yeah, I mean, that was the sort of biggest thing. Yeah, the biggest thing with the solid question, Chief, solid question over there. But with the Pistons, that yes, it's tough, Kendrick. It's tough. It's tough getting to that outside of football season. But hey, we got the schedule drop too. We can talk about the schedule drop.
Yeah. Yep.
Steelers, Pats. Let's go. It's a big one with that. But yeah, the NFL never really leaves. They always find a way to sneak in there. But to Josh's point, I think the Pistons a little too young right now. I don't know if I'm going to give it to them over the Cavs. I think I'm going to have to still take the Pistons. I could see it going 7-2, but I might have to go the other way. I think the Pistons take this one, and the Cavs are just too inconsistent for me. And it's sort of my theme for this whole year. I can never really trust James Harden, so I'm not going to trust James Harden, especially in this one. Even though, yeah, Josh is right on that. They do have more talent. Allen and Mobley down there. James Harden, obviously. Donovan Mitchell's been playing very well. They got some nice shooters over there, Max Strus and Sam Burrell. So, I mean, they got a good team over there. They can make they could win this series, but I'm just going to go with the Pistons, Josh. I think that home court advantage seals it up for them. But ultimately, yeah, it's kind of getting to cheese point in that one. I don't know if either of these Pistons or Cavs team stands a chance against the Knicks, the way the Knicks are playing right now after that 4-game sweep of the 76ers, Josh. The Knicks are looking like they're on another level, just like OKC, just to choose point. And I think the Spurs have a better chance. I think the Spurs definitely have a chance of troubling OKC because you got the size with Wemby and you got the talent throughout this whole roster, like Josh mentioned, Vassell and Castle. Just want to say it like that, Vassell and Castle like that. And our old homeboy, Luke Cornett. I was waiting for Josh to mention that one too. So, I mean, they got the depth. I believe they have Harrison Barnes over there, De'Aaron Fox. They got a solid lineup over there as long as Wemby stays healthy and doesn't get ejected from games. I think they could put up a fight with OKC. I give them a little more nod than the T-Wolves, even though that's me and Josh's team. We're just going to ride them for that prediction. But I think I could see the Spurs giving OKC a little challenge. But I think right now it's the easy take too, Josh. I'm not going too much out on a knee right here, but I think OKC and New York Knicks are just kind of above everyone else right now. I think that's just kind of what we're setting up for an NBA Finals. I know that's a hot take for me and everything like that, but I think just right now it's just you're kind of looking at these teams, and I think the Spurs and T-Wolves are going to tire themselves out and everything. That'd be great. That'd be kind of crazy over there. That quadruple double. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him. But no, I think this Pistons Cavs team is. Yeah, I was back then, but
Ben, the baller.
Yeah, the baller for a little. But no, I think both these series are just going to tire themselves out, Josh. I think I could see both these ones going Game 7, and Thunder and Knicks just maxing out on much rest as they can, and then they get obviously, sometimes that backfires and everything, but. I think, just the Knicks just got to get OG healthy. I think this is going to be huge for them, just shoring up all their roster smarts are ready to go in this one. And, OKC again as much health. Like Jalen Williams was a little hurt throughout this series, so it's going to be much needed rest for him on that one. I was an early grower. I grew a little since then and everything, but no, Josh, I think just to answer his point, they give me a lot of compliments on there. But no, I think to that OKC point, I could see the Spurs giving a little problem to them. I could see the Spurs being the biggest obstacle in their path.
I agree. I actually think the Spurs have a better chance than the Knicks. I like the Knicks, but I just think that the
Oh,
West is more talented. I mean, the Timberwolves, people forget too, they took out the Nuggets. That was a team that a lot of people had in that top three within the entire league. Obviously standings and, they didn't have a better record than the Knicks, but, I digress. I mean, the Knicks are great. I'm still a little weary. They kind of remind me of that same old Knicks team that's going to lose it. But I mean, hey, I thought the 76ers maybe could have a chance, and they absolutely blew the doors off them. They're ready to go. They're locked and loaded. And ever since that little moment where, that turning point in that Hawks series, they just haven't been the same. I mean, in a good way for them. They've just annihilated every team. Jalen Brunson has just completely shown he can be the closer. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart. I mean, everybody putting contributions in there. So I like what I'm seeing from them. I can't lie. Cat Company, they're making things happen, and I mean, they are definitely the dogs of the East. I think they're going to actually make it to the NBA Finals. Are they going to win it? Probably not. We'll get there when we get there, but kind of just back to Ben's point, I actually think that I agree. I think the Spurs can beat the Thunder. I really do. I'd have to kind of see that series, kind of weigh it out after game one. But I mean, going into that series, yeah, I probably would lead Thunder, but anything can happen. And I mean, if it all comes down to Wemby, if Wemby can stay healthy, play formidable minutes there and just stay out of trouble off the court and, not terms of that, but stay on the court, literally, just anyhow, not getting ejected, not getting injured. But the ejection, I think, was a random thing. I don't think that'll happen. But I mean, they got to find a way out of this Timberwolves series. I think this Timberwolves team is scrappy. I think they will win tonight, but I'm telling you, Ben, I think the Timberwolves are going to do it. They're going to push them to game 7, and they're going to make this a good, long fight. And they've got that nice little chip on their shoulder from that Nugget series. And, of course, I know me and you kind of differed there on the Pistons Cavs. That'll be an interesting one to watch as well. But, yeah, tonight we've got that interesting. We've got that big game for the Spurs and the Timberwolves. So again, we'll keep you guys updated on this playoff picture, and we'll get back. We'll dive a little bit more into those games as they dwindle down. We'll talk more and more about those Final Four teams. But before we move on to the NHL, before we get there, and again, we're going to talk some NFL stuff later. We're going to give our predictions for our sleeper teams, our biggest sleepers in the NFL. Ben's got a few. I've got one, maybe two. So we'll get to those in a minute. But first, we got to start with some Celtic stuff. I'm seeing multiple things here. I'm seeing many names being flown out. I'm seeing Jaylen Brown needs to be traded. I'm hearing slander on Jason Tatum's name. I'm seeing Peyton Pritchard's a good option to trade, as well as Derek White. He's getting older. I'm just seeing a bunch of different things. They need a big man. They need Giannis. Giannis can be the big man that they need. Plus, that other guy that can kind of, fit side Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, whoever stays. Ben, I'm going to turn it to you because you were the one who reminded me to bring this up on the show, but just plenty of buzz out of Boston right now.
Yeah, and that's just, like you said, that's one of the biggest talks right now. That's all I'm hearing. Hey, who are we going to stick with? Who are we going to take? Are we going to split this up? Because this is what happens, Josh. When you got expectations that haven't met, and you've got these two-star players that been together for a long time, and it's worked out for a majority of it, Josh, but there's definitely been some problems and everything, and a little coaching system that's flawed. There's got to be something done. Whether it's getting rid of the coach, getting rid of one of these star players, and I keep hearing it's just got to be one of them, and it's got to either be Tatum and Brown. And I know I said it last week too, but I mean he's been great for us too, Josh. I'm not coming after him. I'm not saying he's done an awful job, but I heard this question posed, and I said I'd rather keep Tatum and Brown, and let's get rid of Missoula and start somewhere else. Because that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing, it's you gotta get rid of somebody in this trio. You can't just keep doing this over and over and expect the same results. Definition of insanity right there. But I don't think the answer is getting rid of Jaylen Brown and splitting this up with Tatum. I know they've had their faults and everything, but I just think these guys are way too talented. And you saw what happened with that one of these guys. You saw how far we can dip I mean, we're starting Harper, we're starting Luka Garza, Baylor Shireman, and hey, no offense to Shireman, Shireman just gets thrown in there because he didn't score a point in that game 7. That's unfortunate for him, but when you're throwing these other guys into this lineup, Josh, I just don't think we get rid of the talent right now in the NBA. I feel like it's easier to replace a coach instead of a player in the NBA right now. And like I said, Joe Mazzulla has been great for us. He's done everything. I think one of the youngest coaches ever to win a NBA championship. The record's fine. He's done it. He's done everything that he's asked for. But I think just this philosophy right now, just live by the 3, die by the 3, is just gone a little too much. I think we've gone a little too extreme into it. So I think when just looking at answers like this, these are just some of the big off-season rumors. What are we going to do? We need to switch something up. We can't just keep losing every year and wasting all these guys and expecting a different result. I mean, it's still young, but I mean, Jaylen Brown's, I believe he's turning 30. I think he's 29 right now. I believe he's turning 30. Tatum's getting up there too. These guys aren't getting any younger. I know we have that one championship to boot, but there's been multiple series where we've fallen short of expectations, and we've just fallen short of him. We've lost to inferior teams. Some of those ones. I like that from him. That's fiery. I am pretty fiery right now. But no, I think ultimately, if we get Colin Holmes in there, that'd be a good head coach right there. But ultimately, I think. No, that's not what Felger said. Felger didn't say. Felger said trade one of them. Felger trade. And we can get into the other one too. Felger doesn't want to trade for Giannis. I don't want to trade for Giannis either. I'll take Giannis. Obviously this is another fiery good take from me on this one. I'll take Giannis if we can keep Tatum and Brown. I don't know how we can do that. I don't know if we can get Brad Stevens magic on the line right there. He can work out some type of deal or whatever, but I'm not giving up Brown for Giannis. I know that was one of these trade options thrown out there. Another one was Sengun. Someone threw Sengun out there, maybe Jaylen Brown for Sengun. I don't think the Rockets are doing that. I would obviously, that's a little different. For some of these guys, I would give up for Jaylen Brown, but for guys like Giannis right now, no. I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown for Giannis. But no, I think we need to keep these two, and sorry, Mazzulla, but we got to get rid of Mazzulla. If we're looking to just break up anybody in this sort of team, and I guess I'll call them a little band, break up anybody in the band right now, I say we get rid of Mazzulla, start fresh with a new philosophy. We can still shoot threes. I'm not saying we don't have to shoot threes, Josh, and everything, but let's have a backup plan. When we're down by 1 point or 2 in the final couple of minutes, let's not just check up threes just because it's mathematically correct. It's different in the postseason. We gotta have a coach that's able to, realize that and adjust his, game plan and everything like that. And unfortunately, I don't think Mazzulla's that guy. He hasn't proven it. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Maybe he can, but I just haven't seen it, Josh. So ultimately, I think I'm ready to move on from Mazzulla, keep Tatum and Brown. And like I said, if we can work some magic for Giannis coming in here, I would love to have Giannis with these two, Josh.
Some interesting things thrown around there. Mazzulla's kind of been Ben's not scapegoat, but Ben's done with him.
That's
Mary's done.
Hey.
Mary's done
Sorry,
with him
Mazzulla.
as well. I agree
Break
with
out.
Marianne. I don't think that they're going to break up the duo. We do this every year. I know you said that as well. I think, what's going to happen with the Celtics is somebody's getting moved, whether it's Pritchard, whether it is Brown or Tatum, whether it's White. I don't know, whether it's Hugo. I don't know. Somebody's going to get moved. Hauser, Shireman. I don't know. One of those guys, a couple of those pieces, they need to bring in a big man, a Zubac, or somebody. I mean, I know they missed, they missed the flyer there, but they got to do something. They got to bring in a big, and they got to shake things up. I mean, this is what they do, Ben. They traded Smart in the past. They traded Drew Holiday. I mean, they're not afraid of trading these core guys, these guys who have been a part of championship rosters and have been a part of deep playoff runs. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think somebody's going to be the odd man out, and Brad Stevens is the biggest player this offseason. I mean, this is what he does. This is what he's done a great job at. I don't want to see him get too much like a Danny Ainge where he's trying to, always try and win the deals and, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. I don't think Brad Stevens will do that, but other than that, I do think that Brown and Tatum are going to be fine. I think, Brown was just upset they lost, handled it in a different way. I mean, I kind of agree with Brown. I actually really liked this playoff team. I thought it was more enjoyable at times than that Banner 18 team. It just felt like it was just a walk of destiny. This team, it felt like they were kind of grinding a little bit more. And I don't know. I can't, it's a weird thing. So I kind of oddly relate, even though I didn't play a minute in the NBA or on that team or was ever on that team. But I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't think that they're going to trade the Jays, as you've mentioned. I do think something's going to happen. We know it every season, every off season. Brad Stevens and company is extremely anxious to make a move, and they usually do. Whether it was going out and getting Simons last year, they're always willing to do that. So I wouldn't get too comfortable with the Pritchards or the Derek Whites. I think White is a perfect candidate. I think he's getting older. I think we've seen some struggles there at the end of his tenure, or at the end of last season, excuse me. I love Derek White. I wouldn't want to, but I think he would be one of those perfect pieces to, maybe bring in another piece. I don't know who that would be or what they value. Again, I value a big man. I think we need to bring somebody else in that's not Vucevic to help out Kada. But Celtics got some work to do, Ben. They've got the work cut out for them. We were able to kind of see the draft odds, the lottery odds. Of course, it wasn't coming in the Celtics' favor, but I mean, the Thunder top 10 pick again. I mean, that organization, Presti is unbelievable. Shout out to him, Boston native guy. I mean, he is just unbelievable. But I mean, only time will tell, Ben. And I think the biggest player right now for the Boston Celtics is Brad Stevens.
Oh, and you took my other guy too right there.
This ain't getting me. This didn't happen. This did not happen.
Monte's
trying to troll me. It's not happening.
That would have been good for the Cowboys right there. We'll get into the Cowboys in the NFL a little later, but no, you took my guy right there too, Josh. That's just another one on the chop and block.
Is this true?
I don't know if I said that. I
know he's always been a Brown guy. I will say that.
Yeah. Like I said, Josh knows me well like that. And he's heard that take through many years on the radio waves, even at the Salem State days. I've been a Jaylen Brown guy. That's been my guy, and I did forget he didn't receive the best treatment when he got drafted. I kind of forgot that he got booed and everything. I've been sticking with him and all that, so maybe that's where that take came from. I was a little jealous of the Tatum talk and everything.
We were talking about them.
We got them enough. We don't need to hear about them. Listen, Cat's playing well. Jalen Brunson's well. Bridges. Hey, Mikal Bridges. He's been stepping up. He's been actually,
worth that
earning
pick.
that money. Yeah, he's been earning that money and earning all that stuff over there. So the Knicks got their shine. Don't worry. I said the Knicks are at that OKC Thunder level right now. So the Knicks got enough. I don't need to hear from the Knicks. They did their job sweeping the 76ers for us. So now I can go back to hating the Knicks and everything like that. So, but hey, shout out to the Knicks for that. 76ers. R.I.P. Yeah, there we go. R.I.P. Jason. Yeah, I'll say that one. R.I.P. Jason Collins on that. Yeah, that was
and Brandon Clark.
Yeah, it was R.I.P. It's been a bad day over here, Josh. But no, I think ultimately for the Celtics, yeah, Derek White's on the chopping block too. He had a great game 7, and as you said, he's been a fan favorite. Loved Derek White. Loved everything he's done for us. But he's getting up there in age, and you got younger guys like Hugo Gonzalez and Pritchard's got the money already, attached to him. So I could see us moving on from him. Been a great time. There we go, Potter.
See you then, Nancy.
But no, I think that's a logical trade one. Like you said, Josh, we need to get a big man. I know I was always debating with it, but even Kate. I mean, Kate can't really. Cade's got to prove himself in the playoffs next roundabout on that one. He proved himself in the regular season. I think Cade can be a valuable part of this roster going forward and everything. But he's just, hey, that was his first playoff experience, and I can't totally knock him on that one. But he's just got to stay out of foul trouble. He's just got to learn how to manage those minutes out there. And some of that is the Celtics' fault too, not having any depth or any backup for him. I mean, like I mentioned in the beginning, Luka Garza should not be starting that game 7 and should just not be sort of in this playoff run for you. But I digress on that one. So definitely need to hit the big man role. So get rid of a guy like Derek White, trim some of that fat in the sort of, I think it's called backcourt. I always get that confused, backcourt and front court. So I think it's reversed on that one. So, trim some of that fat in the backcourt, get some of these big guys for us, and just keep the core. Keep the core, Tatum and Brown. Don't listen to the outside noise. I think Jaylen Brown's done with his social media tirades. Well, not tirades, but I think his sort of campaign after the series. You can still keep doing the live stream and everything, but let's just stop talking about Game 7. Let's stop saying that was the most fun he's had all year, which I agree with. But you got to know optics wise, Josh. You got to know that once he says stuff like that, he's a really smart guy. He should know that. He should know that how the media works and how they're just gonna kind of spin his words and cut some of the stuff out of there and everything like that. So he should know better on that. He's a Cal guy. He's very smart, but can't fault him for that stuff. So he seems to have calmed down right now, and I think just when the dust settles, let's just keep Tatum and Brown. And I'm sorry, Missoula, but I think that's the best option, Josh.
Ben, getting ready to move on from Missoula. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to make those harsh decisions. That's what this Celtics franchise has done from year in, year out. I mean, before they won that banner 18, it was like, whoa, Brad Stevens is gone. Oh, wow, they're going to promote Ime Udoka at the time. And then, I mean, it was just so much change. I remember where I was. I was like, what? Brad Stevens is going to step down? He's going to be our GM? Danny Ainge is gone. Like, it was like a lot of changes at once. I think not as crazy this offseason. Hopefully not. I'm still a Missoula guy. I'm not high on getting rid of him like Ben and everybody else. So I will say that. And Mary's been wanting him out. Same with Ben. So we've got plenty of time to talk about these Celtics, and plenty more of these rumors will come flying in. And of course, Montante, we will talk more about your Knicks next week when we preview some more of that NBA basketball. With that being said, the casual NHL fan that I am running circles. I knew it. I had a feeling that the Carolina Hurricanes. There you go. That talks about how much I am ready for our NFL segment. The Hurricanes. I mean, it seems like every year they're like the Knicks. They're like the Knicks of this for me. I mean, every year they're looking for it. Absolutely swept the Flyers. Just wasn't even a problem. So they're well rested. And then you turn over to that up top there, Ben, that Buffalo Sabres versus the Canadiens, two young teams, two gritty teams. And that's the series. I think the Sabres still got some fight in them. Shout out Tony Scarfo. He's been huge on them. And I think the Sabres are going to win that. And then, of course, I'm going to take my victory lap right now. It's very early, but this is going to be a Timeout Talks guarantee. Shout out, I think it was Charlie or Jeff. I don't know who it was, one of you. This is a Timeout Talks guarantee. The Avalanche are going to wrap that up in 5. I told everybody they're going to win it all. They're going to win it all. I'm just going to go out and say it. They're going to play the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup. They're going to win it all. So I'm going to take my victory lap there. And I know this is kind of Ben's series. I'll turn to him, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll take the Vegas Golden Knights because the Ducks always kind of screw it up. But yeah, I don't know. I'll take my victory lap for the Avalanche and let's go Hurricanes. I had a feeling. Gritty team.
Yeah, they want fiery analysis. Just listen to us talk a little hockey over here. Me and Josh are gonna kill it here.
The obvious, baby.
No. I mean, hey, I'm agreeing with Josh on that Avs one. I mean, the Avs, Minnesota showed a little fight in that last game. They answered every goal until that third period. The Avs just took over. They're just too talented. I mean, they got just every defensive pairing is great over there, led by Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon, Landeskog. These guys are just unreal over here. So they're just a little too good for the Minnesota Wild. And I got to back the Vegas Knights. Anaheim, a little too young right now, I believe. So I think that's why I'm going to stick with the Knights Avs into the conference finals over there. And like Josh said, the current Carolina Hurricanes always just find a way to lose. I think this playoff is just perfect for them. Just a couple inexperienced teams for them to pick through, and this is just a veteran Carolina Hurricanes team over here. So, and that home stadium is just crazy for them. And Montreal, Buffalo. That's getting a little dicey right now, Josh. Fortunately, I think I'm gonna have to stick with the Canadians. I don't know. The Canadians are just a little too talented for the Sabres right now. The Sabres and the Flyers were kind of on the same levels right now, Josh. I think just two young teams that exceeded expectations this year, much like the Bruins, but just in different ways. The Flyers and Sabres got a little more talent than us. They just exceeded the expectations just because they weren't expected to be here this year. Those two teams are going to be here eventually. The Bruins roster isn't, but these Flyers and Sabres teams going to be around for a long time, just built through the draft and everything. So I think that's kind of starting to come up with the Sabres right now. You got some other guys like Suzuki on this Canadians team that are a little older. Gallagher over there. So I believe Gallagher's still over there. I just threw that one out there too. I think he's over there. Fiery analysis. Let's go. But I'm gonna go. As much as I don't like it, I think Canadians win this one, Josh. I think the Canadians just better team than the Sabres right now. So I got Canadians, Hurricanes. Like you said, Vegas, and me and Josh are going out on a limb on here, in saying the Avs are going to advance. And no, I don't believe they do. I'm not sure if I know Josh. Josh is looking it up right now. I felt like we got screwed. I felt like we got screwed because I thought we had the Toronto pick. If the Toronto pick was top 5, outside the top 5, we would get it. I think it was top 5 protected, and Toronto got the number 1 overall pick. Well, that's what the Boston conspiracy theories were flown out there, Josh. They were saying how the Toronto had like a 0.3 chance of getting the number 1 seed, a number 1 pick, excuse me, and they did it. And that was the only way the Bruins weren't going to get. Obviously those 4 other picks, but there was a very low percentage chance of the Maple Leafs getting that number 1 overall pick. And Austin Matthews did just come out and say, hey, he might leave Toronto this offseason and everything. And then look what happens. The NHL gives him the number 1 overall pick, and the Bruins lose that one. So just throwing a little conspiracy theory out there. Yeah, exactly. Was Jeff right though, Josh? Was Jeff right? Do we have the number 4 pick? That'd be nice.
Jeff is wrong here. According to ESPN,
that's
I'm not even seeing a top 16 pick for the Bruins here, I hope this is wrong.
He's feeding us wrong information. I don't know what he's saying.
This is
number 4 pick.
ESPN. I know. I do agree with Ben. I was under the impression that basically that Toronto Maple Leafs, if they didn't, it was some type of protection thing. If they didn't get a top 5,
top 5 protected.
Yeah, top 5. Then we would have got a top pick, but didn't happen. Didn't happen for us, and we're stuck in
James Hagan.
Yep. Yeah, we got. Here you go, Ben. That's how we left it off last week. Stuck in no man's land there. So as we, just kind of wrap up here, taking a look, we've got 2 interesting ones happening right now. We've got the Buffalo Sabres actually up 1-0 as courtesy of Matthias Samuelsson's 3rd goal of the NHL playoffs right now. They are up 1-0 in this very important game 4 over the Montreal Canadiens. And then, of course, that big game 5. I'm calling this Ben series. I don't know why. He's just, I feel like he bought some stock into this series. That Golden Knights and Ducks, that's the game. That's the second game on tonight's slate. So I'm slating that Ben series. So there we go. Just a way to just dump on everybody. It's like a pile. Somebody says something, you better come with the facts on Time On Talks.
He's trying. Yeah, maybe we're wrong too. Maybe Jeff's got some secret knowledge out there. Maybe he's got the right article. But no, I think that's what we were vying for, Josh. We were all hoping just the Maple Leafs pick fall outside the top 5, and of course it doesn't. So it didn't fall for us on that one. And like you said, we're just kind of a no man's land still. So hey, let's go Bees. Still just got to say that one over there. Jeff's not too wrong, everybody. Let's stop piling on Jeff. Jeff he had the right idea. He was in the right state of mind with that one. But no, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I like that Vegas Anaheim series. I think that Vegas Mammoth series before got me into this Golden Knights team. I mean, there was like 3 double overtime games in that series. I don't know how the Knights are still standing throughout that series, and they're still competing with the Anaheim team. Another team just like the Sabres and Flyers, young. Trevor Zegras over there. There's my hockey guy. There we go. There's a name for you. They got a solid defensive team out there, and sort of the theme with all these teams, Josh, too, and this is what the Bruins should do for when they're remodeling this team. And I know we've talked about the lack of goalie importance in all this, but all these teams just are deep at the defensive position. The Wild have Quinn Hughes, and they got everybody behind him. Obviously, Avs, Cale Makar. Hurricanes got a couple great. I should have probably had another one ready for the Hurricanes, but don't worry. I know there's somebody over there blanking on his name, but all these guys, just the common theme is they're just deep with the defensive pairings. They can just send any amount of lineups out there, and it makes up for some of the goalie play. You don't need to have the strongest goalie if you got a great lineup out in front of you. If you got a great sort of protection with that. So I think that's how the Bruins should do it. Let's figure out. We can keep McAvoy around and everything, but we're going to build around him and all that, and just got to build out a deeper team defensively. Hockey knowledge.
Sorry, just having some technical difficulties there.
He's laughing. He's like, man, he threw the Trevor Zegras out there.
I was trying to help Ben out, and we were having some technical difficulties. I know Sebastian Aho was a great Hurricanes player. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Now I have to do it.
There was some. They had some great defensive guy, and I'm just blanking on his name. Aho was a center, but they got some. I think they have some big Russian guy. Slavin. They have Jacob Slavin for the Hurricanes. I think that's the best defender over there, so I think I nailed that one. Now, Josh, see, look at this. This is a little technical difficulties on Josh's end. This is kind of weird. It's usually me. I don't think it's ever been just me on this end. I kind of like it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just keep talking. I don't know. I keep going with this one. Jacob Slavin. I think that's how it was for me. Josh better be back for this hot take. He's going to like one of my NFL sleepers for this one. But no, I think ultimately I'm going to keep going on this NHL one. I'm going to keep going with this one. I'm going to go Vegas. Let's go Vegas Knights. Everyone just remember I said that one. I don't know how he talks by himself that much. I don't know. He did it so much with me. In my technical difficulties, but I'll wrap up the NHL playoffs. This one stinks. Give me Knights, give me Avs, give me Hurricanes, give me Canadians. Oh, no, it's just me. That's just me over here. I know the bottom line still the NHL playoffs, but we can start throwing out some other stuff. I'll start looking at the comments too. Jeff, start throwing out some more hot takes for us. Start throwing out some hot takes for everybody. I don't need to keep talking NHL. NHL is good enough over here. I know we're going to get into some football and everything, but starting off with the Red Sox. The Red Sox stink. I don't know what the Red Sox are doing over there. Josh's Yankees a little better than us. I'm not sure.
Here we go.
There we go. You're doing great, Ben. Filibuster. I don't know how you filibuster like that, Josh. I think I was just talking nonsense for.
No, you were holding it down. I was trying to. I'm not sure.
I don't know how you did it all those times. I'm just talking to Jeff, to be honest. I was just trying to get Jeff something. So appreciate it, Mary. I saw you say that one. That was good. No, it's more credit to Josh too, with all those technical difficulties on my end all the years. I don't know how he stuck through it. Oh, Summer House drama. I don't. I haven't seen anything on this one. I think that's the Barstool thing. I haven't seen anything on this one, but a hot take. Jeff's got a hot take for the Patriots or his sleeper team. That's a hot take. There we go.
That's cold what we've been waiting to get to here.
Yeah, but I think we can. I led to this one, Josh, too. We can go to his cold take. You want to show his cold take too, because that's what I was talking about a little too. The Red Sox just stink. I know Josh's Yankees are. We'll give Josh's Yankees a little shine too before he gets the NFL. I mean, maybe Josh can help me out with some of this MLB landscape too. They just stink. I mean, hey, you sweep the Tigers, and then obviously the Rays are in first place, so that's a little more, a little more understanding for the Red Sox losing that one, but they just stink. Trevor Story's just the worst hitter in the league. These guys are just not fun to watch right now and everything like that. So, but hey, Josh's Yankees are on top, and it's a little weird. The NL kind of looks the same. You got the Dodgers, Padres good. NL Central is the best sort of division in baseball right now. And Phillies, the Phillies and Phillies and Braves are up the top of the division over there, I believe. So it's kind of sort of the normal teams everywhere. Yeah, we haven't talked about that. We could talk about that one too. But Josh, yeah, maybe you can enlighten me too. I don't know. The A's are in first place. I feel like the NL is kind of sort of regular and everything, but I mean the A's are in the first place in the West. The Astros are in last place, 16-26. They're doing awful. And yeah, AL Central is just kind of anybody's sort of race over there. So I'm just kind of surprised to see the A's in first place, and I kind of like it for the MLB. Kind of seeing just these different teams stepping up right now. I know it's early. I know we're only in May, but I kind of like seeing these different teams leading the divisions early on.
Yeah, Ben. I just want to appreciate you for holding it down here on Time Will Talks while I was having that technical difficulty.
I barely did anything. I kind of just stumbled around.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, the A's, just a complete surprise, young team. I mean, this was a team. I mean, I thought they were completely checked out. They're balling. Shout out Zach Geloff over there. They've got a few other good players. I'm just blanking on completely off the top of my mind. But, you look at the Mariners. I mean, when are they going to grab the brass? When are they going to grab the brass? Shout out WWE saying there. When are they going to grab that brass ring? Seems like every season, just kind of waiting and waiting. Tigers under 500, White Sox under 500. I mean, Ben, there's only 4 teams in the entire AL above 500 right now. That's insane. I don't want to take too much time because I want to get Ben an F1 minute here. And of course, I want to talk about another thing that I feel like we completely forgot to mention here on Time Out Talks, which is that UFC card, which we'll slide in a second. But Yankees, Rays actually up 2 games above the Yankees right now, but the Yankees put in the beating on the Orioles. Paul Goldschmidt hitting that home run earlier, and the Yankees calling up Spencer Jones. So curious to see. I think the Yankees, again, they're getting a lot of starting pitchers back. I think they got to move one of these guys. They got to move something to get some bullpen help. And the Red Sox are just the Red Sox right now. I mean, they're 10 games out of first place. Anything can happen. Yeah, it's May, but once the spotlight really gets shined on the Red Sox, then things are going to pick up right now with the NBA playoffs and, the Bruins and Celtics. That stuff's kind of been overshadowing them, but then this is who they are, and this is what they're going to be. But that's my Red Sox, and that's my MLB minute right now. Again, Red Sox Yankees will be playing in, I think, about a month and a half, so we'll be checking back in. But I've got an interesting UFC take that I want to say after, but I want to hear this F1 minute. This is where I go to get caught up on F1. Ben, hit me with it.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really have anything for F1. Let's go Ferrari. Let's go Ferrari on that one. Awesome. I don't know what Jeff wants to talk about F1. I mean, I haven't really been following the season. I don't know why Jeff said that. I mean, I haven't really been looking up the season. I mean, I could check it out right now. I can check it out. I haven't. It's been kind of. I didn't even really realize it was going on right now. Yeah, it started. Hey, listen. I'm trying to look up some of these standings.
That's awesome.
I don't know why he threw that out there, but he's just saying, let's go Ferrari. I'm looking at the standings now, and I think that's a good minute right there. I think that's a solid minute from me, but I'm trying to see. Yeah, we're almost at that couple second mark. No, I don't know. Maybe Jeff can give me a little more knowledge. I don't know. I haven't been following too closely with it. I know it's early in the season. Now I just saw these first couple races. So everyone's starting to come in there. I think Mercedes just won. Yeah, the Italian kid. That's what I was about to say. I didn't want to butcher his name on there, but obviously Max Verstappen discussed retirement and everything like that. He's not feeling the need to race anymore, feeling that same joy. So looking for a new young guy out there to lead everything. Hey, let's go. We represent the Italians. Don't like he's obviously on Mercedes. That's more of a. No, I did not know that new season was out. I did not know. Sorry, and dropping the ball with the Drive to Survive. So that's on me. But let's go. Let's go this Italian kid and go Ferrari. I think there's the minute.
I like it. He got us that minute. He really rebounded there at the end. Ben, before we get to our sleepers, what the hell? UFC. I mean, I don't know if everybody watched that card. I'm a huge Strickland hater, so maybe this is going to be biased. Again, very impressed after that first round. Kind of watching that first round, I'm like, oh yeah, Hamzat's got this. I mean, I remember listening, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Rogan or it was, I don't know who it was on the broadcast team, but they basically were saying that this was a part of Strickland's plan, and I'm over here like, what? To get taken down? But I guess he wanted to tire him out. You know, they really didn't believe in his gas tank. In every fight, I felt like we were hearing that from Hamzat Chimaev. Ben, I thought he won that fight. I thought maybe you can make the argument he won round 3 and 5. Again, all my friends getting on me saying, oh, you only care about categories, but the only category that Sean Strickland won was significant strikes. I don't know. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't like Sean Strickland at all. I can't stand him. Props to him. Definitely got to give him his congratulations there. But I think Hamzat Chimaev won that fight, and I think they have to run it back. And I think when they do run it back, he will win. I know I'm not going to be that guy, and I'm not going to mention the weight cut. I think it was a big jump there for him. But I thought he won the fight, Ben, and I guess he didn't. I guess one of the judges just had Strickland taken 3 out of those 5 rounds.
Hey, that's not we can give that to him too. Yeah, Josh, on that one. I think everyone's kind of in the same agreements with you on the Strickland. Hey, I know. I hate Strickland like that. Yeah. I think that interview at the end and some of his comments after has kind of humanized him a little. And he's a troll. Sometimes that's what trolls do. They just want to get under everyone's skin and everything. But I kind of humanize him a little, and I like seeing that from Strickland. He's not an awful guy. He just says awful things sometimes and thinks awful things. But you showed a little more. You showed a little human side at the end over there. And unfortunately, I'm with Josh on that one, but I have to go against him. I think he lost, unfortunately. I think Hazmat lost, and I just call him Hazmat. Chimaev, you said that was an excuse for him. No, I don't think. I think that massive weight cut just killed his gas tank. You just saw it right there. I mean, you saw it. It was kind of. Jeff already quoted me on that. Yeah, that's an awful. Hey, listen. That's a good one. But no, I think he just thought he could sort of just do what he's been doing throughout every single round like he has before, and you kind of saw in the Gilbert Burns fight. He kind of when you got a striker like that, he kind of got backed up a little, but then he got his energy back. He was at his weight, and he kind of just sort of dispersed it, and he threw down with Gilbert Burns. But this one, just jumping up like that, I think it was just a little too much for him, and it was just. I think perfectly said when you saw him get on that ground in round 2. Just kind of like the battery died. You were just like, what the? I've never seen that from him. And I think it was 2-2 going into that final round. I mean, yeah, I agree with Josh. I think Josh is going to bring up this point too. Strickland he had more of the significant strikes, but yeah, a lot of that was just jabs. Strickland's got the best jab. In the UFC, I believe he's one of the best. Believe he's the best striker at that weight class. And you saw it. They dethroned Izzy the same way. It's just you can't handle it. He just constantly is thrown at you, and he's got the jiu-jitsu and wrestling to back it up too. He's not going to get ragdolled like Hazmat has done with some of these other guys. He can stay in the ring with him in that regard. And I think he proved it in that one. So I had it going 2-2 in that final round. Yeah, I think Hazmat round 1, Strickland 2. Man, kind of just I believe I think Hazmat won round 3. Yeah, it varies in that one. You can pretty much give round 3 to 4 to either one of them, so it's split 2-2. I think he had to go win that final 5th round. I just don't think he had the gas tank, and Strickland just jabbed him. It was pretty much just the jab versus the gas tank in this fight, and the jab won, I think. And like I said, it wasn't the most convincing win. Definitely could have seen him go the other way, but I think Strickland won that one, and I was just sad. I want to ask, man. I had a little riding on it too, so maybe that's why I'm a little more sad on it. But I thought he was going to just sort of just walk all over him on that one. I was going to say dog walk him. I don't know, dog walk. That's a different, that's not a wrestling term. You don't want to use dog walk on that one. That's just beating up and everything. That's just a straight beat up. I thought Asma was just going to take him to the ground, like you said in round 1. I thought that was going to be the whole fight. He stood up with him a little. I think that was a little worse of the game plan, but ultimately I think it was the right decision, Josh. And it sucks, but I think Strickland won me over a little at the end.
Yeah, I mean, great win. I got to give him that. And he finally showed some humbleness there. We've been putting off the sleepers for weeks, so we'll get to them here. I'll go first and quick here because I'm going to turn it over to Ben for him to end the show. My biggest sleeper of the NFL season this year, I think I might have came on the show and said this before. They've got a top 3 easiest schedule in the NFL. They went out. They addressed defense as their need this offseason. They went out and grabbed themselves a new safety. They went out and got a new defensive end. They drafted some more defense in the first round as well. They've assessed at that offensive line a little bit, not too much. And their quarterback is going to be back and healthy, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're a sleeper team here. I know they're not really considered a sleeper, but in terms of their power and they've got a lot of talent there, but I'm going to say that they win the division. I'm going to go as far as say that they're a sleeper team in my eyes. I think a lot of people are counting them out. I think a lot of people look at that defense, see that it's weak. They see Joe Burrow's injuries. I think that they're going to win that division, Ben. They're going to take a lot of people by storm. The Ravens got a new coach coming in and a new regime. The Steelers still trying to figure out their quarterback. And, of course, the Browns are still a dumpster fire. They had a good draft, but they're still many ways away from getting a quarterback. I think this is the Bengals' year to lose. And I'm going to leave it over to Ben for these last 2 minutes. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And, of course, I'm going to leave it like this. Hamzat should have won, and he at least should have gotten the title back. And I want to see him go back for that title.
Yeah, I'd love to see a rematch with that, Josh. Let's run that fight back. But yeah, I want to thank everybody too for tuning in as always. And Steelers signed Boswell. That's a great signing for them. But yeah, just shout out to Josh too. That was tough when he wasn't here. So I don't know how he did it all those times when I was having my technical difficulties. But shout out to Josh for that one. Shout out to everybody. And I just wanted to end with this one too because I think Josh is going to be happy with me. But my sleeper team is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I think they've got 6 new starters. There we go. We gotta get back on Spotify. And those 6 new starters over there on the defensive side, that was the biggest issue for the Cowboys. And they got the offense over there. We know what's going on that side of the ball. Re-signing George Pickens for only 1 year. But they just need him for 1 year on this sleeper side. So my sleeper team is the Dallas Cowboys. Throw in the New York Giants as another one. But thank you for everyone tuning in. And sorry, Missoula, but I think you gotta go.
Call timeout. Timeout talks. Timeout talks.